everybody, welcome to the European Shooting Stars 2021. I'm Edith Bowman. It is a pleasure to be here to welcome you to our kick-off show. Now, as you probably know, European Shooting Stars is a hugely established and prestigious initiative to promote European acting talent. This amazing and unique programme not only celebrates Europe's most extraordinary actors, it is also considered an important stepping stone towards an international acting career. Most notable shooting stars of recent years include Oscar winner Alicia Vikander, Oscar nominated Ruth Negga. Who else do we have? We have Olivier winner Zrinka Svezik. We have multiple Goya winner Natalie de Molina. And we have BAFTA winner and Oscar nominated Carey Mulligan. And the fabulous Mathilda de Angelis, who has not only we've seen recently alongside Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant in The Undoing, she's now shooting with Liev Schreiber in Venice, and also Game of Thrones actor and SAG nominated for his outstanding performance, Pilou Asbaek. I'm also very, very happy to be welcoming them a little bit later on at the end of the show to talk about their experiences. But back to this year's Shooting Stars. Incredibly outstanding talents. They've been selected by an international jury, which I have to say has not been an easy task for US casting director Cassandra Hahn, Kosovan director Antonetta Castrati and the Danish producer Renée Ezra. We have to thank all of our jury members for their time and their dedication, and we can't wait to introduce you to this wonderful 10 collections of hugely talented individuals. But before we do, I'd like to ask Variety's Stephen Gaydos and co-host of the show to say a few words. Stephen, over to you.
Well, thanks so much, Edith. It's great to be here, even virtually. I managed to think of something good about this pandemic, which is I don't have jet lag today. So that's about the only good thing I can say. The other things I can talk about that are great are the selections this year and the Shooting Stars and the partnership between Variety and European Film Promotion. And the great news in all of this year is what has happened completely outside of the health crisis. And what has happened is the world is watching European film and European cinema in ways that I probably only dreamed of the past few decades. The streaming disruption, the revolution, as people know with disruption, there are winners and losers. And I think the big winner in, or winners in this disruption that streaming has caused is that it has opened up the entire world to watching each other's movies and TV shows and discovering new incredible directors and writers, showrunners, creative people. And then at the forefront of all of this is actors. So I think it's in many ways the most exciting year ever for Shooting Stars. And I look forward to the next year where we can all get together and high five or do whatever it is we do in a safe way and celebrate. But the main thing today is to look at and discover and talk about the new talents. And personally, I couldn't be more excited. Variety has loved working with European promotion all of these 25 years, literally getting close to that. So let's get on with the show.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Now, since its first showcase in 1998, a total of 324 European Shooting Stars have been presented at the Berlinale. It is the ideal home for Shooting Stars, a hugely supportive platform to help spread the word about Europe's best acting talent. I'm very much looking forward to welcoming the Berlinale's Executive Director, Marietta Risenbeek, at the end of the show. And even in these crazy times where the world is in a state of flux, with their unbroken spirit, European Film Promotion has managed to realise and fulfil this wonderful, wonderful programme. Not an easy thing to achieve, a huge task and a huge challenge, but so important. Marketa, how has this experience been for you?
Yes, absolutely, Edith. A real challenge. As was said earlier, Shooting Stars is the oldest and probably the most prestigious program of European film promotion. So it's my pleasure to thank our dear partners. First of all, Creative Europe Media Program of European Union, the Federal Government Commissioner for the Culture and the Media in Germany, Film- und Medienstiftung Nordrhein-Westfalen, Medienbord Berlin-Brandenburg, Spotlight, German Films, and all the national film promotion institutes of the Shooting Star countries. A program such as Shooting Star wouldn't be possible without our media partners, which are even more important for us this year. And I'm thrilled to thank our main media partner, Variety, and media partners Blickpunkt Film, Cine Europa, Screen International, Fate to Her, Hey You Guys, and Festival Scope. Thank you all very, very much. And now I pass the word to my dear colleague Sonja Heinen, the Managing Director of European Film Promotion.
Thank you, Marketa. And yes, great. We are very much looking forward and delighted to kick off the European Shooting Stars 2021 now. It was not easy, as you said, Edith and Marketa. Of course, we couldn't host our whole program at the Berlinale as we do usually. And therefore, we have created this digital house, which we name the Home of Acting Talent, which has now is now opening its doors to the international press, to the industry and the public. It has opened already yesterday for the Shooting Stars so that they could meet each other a little bit. So today is our press day. In the afternoon, you, the journalists, have the opportunity for individual interviews with the Shooting Stars. And tomorrow is a big day for the Shooting Stars, the Actors Industry Network, where they will meet more than 60 international casting directors, plus producers, plus filmmakers from all over the world, talent agents as well. And in the evenings, we are organizing social hubs so that we can meet with the industry and mingle a little bit and have at least some drinks together, even if you have to bring them yourselves. And we have also prepared a panel program, of course, with all interesting panels about casting. And now we would like to show you a little clip on how we prepared the Shooting Stars for their arrival in our digital house. They needed a key, of course, first to enter, and some more stuff.
Yeah, the package arrived. Wow. European Shooting Stars.
With this package, we would like to give you
a warm welcome to our project.
We have created a home for you and your acting colleagues.
Decorate.
Wine.
I love this.
Okay.
No, it's mine. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Sonja and Marketa. And yeah, this is a huge opportunity and a wonderful moment. And the work that you guys have put into to make sure that we're still able to do this is absolutely fantastic. And now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you the 10 European Shooting Stars of 2021. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to chat to them all in little groups, which I'm very excited about. But please welcome Albrecht Schuch from Germany. Hello, Albrecht, how are you? From Portugal, Alba Baptista. Hello. Hi. From Hungary, we have Natasa Stork.
Hello.
From Finland, Seidi Haarla. Welcome and congratulations.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. From France, we have Nicolas Maury. Hello, Nicolas.
Hello. Hello.
From Ireland, Fionn. Hello, Sara.
Hello.
From Lithuania, we have Žygimantė, Elena, Jakštaitė. Welcome. I hope that was very close to how you say your name. I've been practicing all day with all of them, so I'm Scottish and my apologies, my dear friends. Okay. Let's go to the Netherlands and welcome Martijn Lakemeier.
Hi there.
Hey, from North Macedonia, and we have Sara Klimoska.
hello.
And from Sweden, Gustav Lindh.
Hey.
Hi. There we are. There you all are. Welcome, one and all. What a fantastic and wonderful group of massively talented people. Now and I'm sure everybody else watching would love to find out a little bit more about this wonderful group of talented actors. And we're going to do that in 3 separate groups. So first up, I'm going to chat to Alba, Nicolas and Sara. But before I do chat to them, let's take a little look at them in action.
I may not help. Like, I am a strong woman. I don't need your help.
Avant? Ouais, c'est vrai.
Nikad više nema se vratam u dom, nikad.
A tiny little snapshot of the talent in our first group. Yeah! Let's give everybody a round of applause in group 1. Yeah! Alba, if you don't mind me starting with you, please. Huge congratulations, first of all, on being one of this year's Shooting Stars. And you have this incredible ability with your language skills, you know, not being a native speaker of English. How much do you have to work at that in terms of having no accent? Because, you know, I can't get rid of my Scottish accent, but in terms of, you know, that type of thing, it's such a big part of the skills you have to learn as an actor.
I studied in a German school in Portugal, and they were quite strict with languages, but ever since I can remember, I always had this weird fascination with phonetics. I would listen to people talk for hours and hours when I was younger, and I would acutely listen to these inflections and to accentuations, and I would study them on my own. And with time, I began to notice how people's tone and physicality would slightly shift in accordance to whichever different language they would speak. And that was just a mind-blowing revelation in my head. And I thought, okay, this is something I want to explore. And I think just the elegance and the mystery of the language's layers is fascinating.
Talking about exploring, in terms of exploring, you know, the world of an actor, when it comes to choosing roles and the criteria and what it is that you're looking for, what is the decision-making process around that?
I think it's a duality between an emotional and rational process, decision-making process. By emotional, I mean, well, if I'm reading a script and I feel butterflies in my stomach, that's a clear sign for me that I want to give life to these written words and to the character. And of course, if I feel that there's a truthful and impactful message with the character or the script itself, regardless of the genre, that's important. And with rational, it's more on the end of setting short, middle, and long-term goals, and how saying yes to something now would impact my future, and it's preferable to be, you know, patient with my decisions in order to gain maturity.
Great. Thank you so much. It's so great to meet you. Thank you. Congratulations. Nicolas, over to you. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
I'm so excited to share about all this wonderful talent. And listen, kudos to you as well, not only as the lead actor of My Best Part, but also as writer and director. Quite a feat. How is it wearing 3 hats at the same time?
It was a little bit particular. It was like if I was schizophrenic, you know, because as an actor, the part of Jeremy is very depressed, and as a director, I had to be very captain, you know.
you're deeply rooted in you mentioned theatre, but also auteur cinema. And you've worked on films with some extraordinary talented directors, from Olivier Assayas to Valerie Brunei Tedeschi. And what's your view on the future of art house cinema in light of how the industry has had to evolve and change with the current challenges? But what do you hope for the future of art house cinema?
Oh, it's a moving question, because I think I will always believe in people who believe in close to home fiction,
Yeah.
And not the willing of talk for the universe, but to be really particular, to be really close to his own eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and to let enter the other people in this universe, very particular, like in literature, Virginia Woolf. And I think cinema is very interesting when it's close to literature.
Yeah.
And literature of himself. I love European cinema. I love Asian cinema, Japanese cinema, which is very close to human people.
Yeah.
And with fiction who heals, repair, heals the world and the disasters.
Lovely. Oh, what a lovely answer. Thank you so much for that. It's a real pleasure to meet you. And the final person in our first group, Sara, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure to be here, to be part of Shooting Stars.
I want to start by talking about collaboration with you, because you've just worked again with the Australian director Goran Stolevski after playing the lead in Would You Look at Her, which won the 2018 Best International Short at Sundance. Obviously been a really successful collaboration between you two. Was that an instant thing? And what is it about finding those collaborations that work well? Is it easy to find?
It was definitely instant. Since the moment I met Goran on audition for Would You Look at Her, I think we both fell in love with each other. I mean, artistically, of course. It was like we've known each other for 1,000 years, and like we worked on many projects. It was like very natural. I think that is because we have very, very similar view of aesthetics, of work ethics, and also I think we have similar point of view for life, because I think that affects on the work definitely. And since then, since that great success of that short film, he sent me the script for his feature film, his first feature, You Won't Be Alone. I was very excited because I think when I was reading the script, it was like literally I'm reading Shakespeare. I had that feeling. We had great, amazing time in shooting, and I think Europe is small. I've always also collaborated with Alba's friend and colleague, Carlota Cota. I also collaborated with Maury's friend and colleague, Félix Marito. So I hope that one day we will collaborate with each other. I mean, the Shooting Stars.
Amazing. That would be great. Wouldn't it be amazing if all 10 of you were in a film together? That would be fantastic. The title role in Lena and Vladimir was, I imagine, extremely challenging character to take on. Did you find a particular way in to Lena, to find in how you would play Lena?
As soon as I read the script, I instantly felt connected to the character. I felt sympathy and empathy with her, and I found myself in her. So this was, I had a different approach to try to create a character based on my instinct and my intuition, and just to follow her, to follow the script. And just to open up myself, to open my emotions, and just to try to follow the character. That was it. I don't know how I did it, but
wow. I'm very excited that we get to see it. Very much look forward to that. Sara, thank you so much. Nicolas and Alba, it's so great to meet you. That's our first 3. Next up, let's meet some more of our wonderful shooting stars. Let's say hello to Gustav Lindh from Sweden. Hey Gustav, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
Great to have you here. From Lithuania, Žygimantė, Elena, Jakštaitė. Hello, how are you?
Hi, fine, thank you. Hi.
Who else have we got? We've got Fionn O'Shea from Ireland. Hey Fionn, how are you?
How are you?
Great, thank you very much. And Natasa Stork from Hungary. Hello.
Hello.
Right, listen, before we chat, shall we have a look at you guys in action?
Tung i huvudet. Jag trodde jag var så nära nu.
Nej, men skit i
Den är bra på riktigt.
Fine. I'll be your boyfriend.
Miért nem voltál ott? Mára beszéltük meg.
There we go. Tiny little snapshots. Right, Gustav, I'm going to start with you first, if that's all right. I've got to ask you about Queen of Hearts, which premiered at Sundance, and well, it won awards all over the place, including several for you. So huge congratulations on that. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like working on such an intense, volatile, and devastating role? I imagine
The entire experience working on that film was just amazing, and everybody involved with that film will always have a very, very special place in my heart. And you know, working with that role was just such a treat, because you could tell already from the page, from reading the script, that this was going to be very special and a big challenge, which is something that I look for.
Am I right in thinking you just wrapped The Northman as well in Belfast? Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct.
What a cast. I mean, apart from yourselves, Anya Taylor-Joy, Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Willem Dafoe. I mean, I'm not going to name check the entire cast, but that's a pretty impressive start. What can you tell me about your role and the shoot in general?
What I can say is that I'm very, very, I'm beyond excited to be part of that project, and I've been a big fan of Robert Eggers for.
Oh, years. So great.
Yeah, and I still have sort of a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that I got to go off and work with him, and that amazing cast which you just mentioned, and it's all very humbling and surreal, and I just feel it was an amazing experience. I look forward to speaking more about it in the future when I'm
okay.
To do so.
Do you mind me asking if the reality met the expectation of working with him?
Oh yes, he's lovely, and we really hit it off from the get-go, and he's a lovely guy and such an inspiring filmmaker. even before I got to meet him and got to know him, he was on my list of directors that I like dreamt of maybe collaborating with at some point. He's one of the most inspiring, interesting filmmakers working today, I think. So, yeah, it's amazing. I'm a big Rob fan.
I look forward to watching The Northman. Thank you so much, Gustav. It's great to chat to you. I'm going to move on to Žygimantė. How can you tell me how to say your name properly, please? Because I've been.
Say just Ziggy. It's okay.
Ziggy's okay? Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
Ziggy, it's so great to meet you. So fabulous. It's wonderful to have the opportunity to talk to you about this first feature film, because not only was Runner your feature film debut, but it was the lead, and an extremely physical role as well. How did you approach that? What were the biggest challenges that you faced, and how you overcame them?
Yeah, so this film was my first feature film, and what a gem to be in this place with all you guys, like so talented. I just watch your short movies and it's already just so interesting to see, and I see how good actors you are. Yeah, for me, like feature film, it was the big challenge to be in the feature films, to lead the film, because it was like a great and big responsibility, so, and a lot of running, as a film called Runner, so a lot of running, and I've been putting an ice on my legs after 1 week. Yeah.
Wow. It's very much just about personal freedom, and notably female personal freedom. When you take on a role like that, and as you say, it's kind of, you give it your all, does it affect you personally?
The idea is not to be dependent, like this character Maria. She's so dependent on her boyfriend and on the circumstances of her life, and it just only shows just how important to search the freedom inside yourself, actually. And in these times when we all are in this circumstances that we cannot control. Yeah. We have to try to find freedom inside ourselves and not to try to capture so much the outside world. So yeah, personal freedom is very, very important thing.
As an actor, do you I don't know, do you not make a list of roles that you want, but do you actively kind of seek out specific things that you want to play, that you want to challenge yourself as an actor? Dream projects?
The acting itself was my dream, all my, since my early childhood. So the acting itself is a miracle for me all the time. And I'm really interested in just, acting, and to dive deep in the acting and the psychology and human behavior of acting. It's what interests me the most, and to find maybe the people also so talented, and from which I can, teach something myself.
Fantastic. I'm so excited to see what's next. Fionn, hello. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm not bad at all. Thank you very much. Were you 11 when you did your first film? Is that right?
I was 11. And wow. I look about 14 now, so even though that was a long time ago, I'll always be really grateful actually to that director, Steph Green, because she kind of she gave me the opportunity, but also created an atmosphere that just allowed me to completely fall in love with performing. So she's the best.
How would you say your experience of acting from such a young age is, or has it helped shape your career and how you approach acting?
It's very different to then when you're an adult, but I learned so much on every film set that I was on as a kid, and I was really lucky that I was surrounded by people who were willing to teach so much, and people who were really, really caring. So I learned everything I know on film sets and kind of learning on the job. So it's definitely influenced me, and relationships that I made with people when I was much younger are still ones that I hold very close to my heart now. So I loved every second of it.
Can we talk a little bit about Wolf, Natalie Biancheri, is that how you say her name's new project? Your list is playing the role of German Shepherd. and great cast as well, George Mackay and Lily Rose Depp. What can you tell us about this project and also your preparation for that role?
There was a whole kind of physical aspect of it, which was something that I'd never experienced. And I think it was new for all of us that we had this amazing movement coach, Terry Notary, who taught us the animal behavior and animal movement. And then we were lucky enough to have a really long rehearsal time. So we would do like 4.5 hour long improvisations and kind of in the actual set that we were going to film in, which is really rare too. So it was a really collaborative and really special experience, and I learned so much. And it was interesting doing the movement as well, because you'd start like building muscles in different places that you didn't know you had muscles, which to be fair in my case is anywhere on my body. But yeah, it was a really amazing experience, and Natalie is I think a genius. She's brilliant, so I can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Fionn, lovely to chat to you. Thank you so much and congratulations. Natasa, great to chat to you. Congratulations on being a shooting star. You've managed this wonderful thing to keep one foot in theatre and the other foot in cinema throughout your career. And I wanted to ask about how these kind of two worlds, do they complement each other? Do they inform each other in any way and help? Does one help the other?
So first of all, I have to say that it's pretty much normal in Hungary. So it's a very, very small industry, and it's kind of a basic skill for an actor here to be confident in both. I never thought that it's a disadvantage. I do think that these two fields are helping each other. I was also very lucky because I got the opportunity to participate in a lot of very hyper-realistic theater performances where I really had to make the audience believe that what they see happens right there.
Congratulations as well with regards to the response to preparations to be together for an unknown period of time. Your first leading role in a feature film, but what's the thing that you kind of walked away with from that experience that you took away with you?
My character was a very confident woman who also could be vulnerable in the same time. I think it's a very useful thing or characteristic.
One of the lovely things that the critics have lauded is Marta's perpetual poker face, so not giving anything away. I wanted to ask whether that was a conscious choice that you made, as you kind of prepared the role in terms of the physicalities of a character. Is that something you collaborated on with the director in terms of, her physicality really and how she reacts to things or how she doesn't react to things?
Botox injections.
You're too young.
I wouldn't say it was a conscious choice. It's I try to approach the characters from their personality. I try to understand them as much as possible, and then just focus on them and be in the present. So I actually worked on how she moves or how she walks.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your answers. Lovely to meet you, Natasa. And Fionn, congratulations. Ziggy as well, and Gustav. Thank you so much for your time, guys. It's great. You can go and hang out in the waiting room for a minute. And our final group, please let's meet Martijn Lakemeier. Martijn, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Seidi Haarla. Hello, Seidi. How are you?
Hello. I'm great.
Great to see you. And Albrecht, Schuch, how are you?
I'm good. And how are you? Cheers.
I'm very good. Thank you so much. Wonderful to have you all here. Before we chat, let's take a look at you guys on screen.
mensen ons vanuit vertrouwen.
No siis ihan nää vaan, mitä nyt varmaan kaikilla on, että lapsena jotain näitä... Ei se mitään raiskausta yrittänyt.
Tag. Auf drauf drum rumgeschnippelt und die halbe Birne drauf. Alles wegrasieren.
Hey guys, there we go. Blink and it's like they're so quick. It's like there's a little bit of your career in a very short piece of video. And listen, so much to talk to you guys about. Martijn, I'm going to start with you if that's okay. Because sure. Were you 14 when you made your acting debut in Winter and Wartime? Is that right?
Yeah, 14.
And you hadn't done anything prior to that?
No, it's actually quite similar to Fionn. I just started acting classes when I was 14, and then within a few weeks I was able to join the auditions for Winter and Wartime. It was that film, and yeah, it was quite special.
It's lovely to kind of see the diversity of types of productions that you've worked on, big television series as well as some really lovely art house films such as Nanook, Leopold's It's Also Quiet. Right. What does that side of things give you as an actor, working on art house films? Do they give you something different that working on a big TV series, for example, doesn't? Is it a different experience?
Absolutely, yeah. I think the energy on those different kind of projects are very different, and I hold art house very close to my heart because I think those projects are the ones that you get the most time and the most energy goes into what is going to tell this story the best. What are we gonna do about the character? And there's just more time to twitch on that, whereas on a TV series is the base is just a lot higher, and everything is all a bit more set already, which is also definitely something to learn from.
Do you mind if we talk a little bit about the East? Because there's a little bit of controversy in the Netherlands about it with them from vets from the Indonesian war. Right. Obviously, as an actor, your job is to act. So, I mean, I don't know if you have a particular point of view on that, or whether it's something that you've done your job, or how does that, where does it sit with you, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, it's hard. I'm still trying to figure out what my job is exactly in that conversation as an actor.
Yeah.
Because frankly, I had no idea what this whole story was when I started it, and more reason so to tell the story, and it's a very important film, I think, definitely in the Netherlands. I do understand definitely the awkwardness of it, and that the vets are really careful with this film. The main goal of the film is to tell the story of what has happened in general.
Thank you so much, Martijn. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, Seidi. Congratulations. As a writer yourself and having created theatre pieces based on your own life, how easy was that to do in terms of, putting yourself out there really, in terms of this being, you putting your own experiences into that, or did that make the writing process easy?
Those plays were inspired by maybe some dream of living more honest and more loving life, and maybe that's as simple as it is. It's the most important reason to do anything. And the plays, they deal with traumas, and especially childhood traumas.
Yeah.
So there is also this layer of or dream of trauma awareness overall and child experiences.
Yeah.
Getting more familiar to the conversations in different aspects of life and living.
I think it's wonderful because it gives so many other people a voice in a way, in the way that you've used your voice to tell that story. It then gives other people the chance to have a voice, really.
Thank you. I
absolutely.
hope.
Yeah. Do you mind if we talk a little bit about compartment number 6? And congratulations on that. I mean, I'd love to just to talk a little bit what the experience was like working with Juho and also preparing for, you know, your feature debut in a major leading role under his direction.
The working was amazing, really, really collaborative, and I don't know, Juho is extremely nice man. He loves his actors.
Well, it's great when you hear about those relations because then it makes you, you know, it brings out the best in you as an actor, because, you know, there's a, you know, you want to do your best for someone that treats you well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was, of course, it was my first leading role in a feature, or like in that amount of work.
Yeah.
I was, of course, felt a little bit pressure, but I loved every second of it. I wouldn't trade it to anything, working in a 40-member filming crew, and every day and every second you can see and feel that everyone is doing absolutely everything they can.
Oh, it's so lovely to chat to you, Seidi. A massive congratulations on your shooting star.
Thank you.
And our final shooting star, Albrecht. Hello, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Listen, there's so much to talk to you about as well. I mean, you made history by winning 2 German Film Awards in the same year for System Crasher and Berlin Alexanderplatz. I wondered if you mind talking a little bit about those experiences for us, specifically, I guess, the process as an actor in approaching both those roles.
And it was a huge experience, a wonderful experience. 2 different planets with 2 different approaches, which were for me as a creative nothing but a gift. So while I was searching for utter authenticity in creating the feelings of Micha, with Reinhard, I felt like an architect or a painter. Working in his atelier, working with different materials and colors, and of course habits of different persons like, I don't know, Tom Waits, David Bowie, Richard III, or Freddie Quell, and also visitors of the Berlin Love Parade of the 90s. So in my approach to Reinhard's character, I started by focusing on external features, but I knew to counterbalance this kind of arty approach, I had to grasp the mindset of Reinhard and get an idea on how he felt. So therefore, I worked with psychologists to give the character, I don't know, the right amount of reality or humanity.
Amazing. It's, you know, it's wonderful as well to watch your colleagues and contemporaries in terms of the trajectory that they take, you know, with Helena from System Crashers, you know, off to Hollywood. Does Hollywood beckon you as well, would you say?
No pressure, right? Sorry.
You're in the right place to talk about it, so yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Working with Dominic Graf on your next feature, which is based on Erich Kästner's satirical 1930s novel, which is, you know, has this complete anticipation as well in terms of that being adapted. But is it a combination of the director and the work, or what's the appeal on that particular piece?
working with Dominic Graf was a dream come true again. He done so many movies that I love and admire and that have inspired me. Because it seems like he never gets tired of exploring a new path in filmmaking. So on set, he loved to capture the first take of the scene, for example, in order to keep the natural imperfections of a human being, I guess. And this character, Stefan Labude, was, again, a wonderful character. He was in between two conflicting situations of life. He wanted to become a poet, but the wish of the father was him becoming a lawyer.
Albert, thank you so much. Seidi and Martijn, thank you so much. Now, as I said before, more than 300 shooting stars have been awarded the Berlinale in the last 23 years. This year's recipients would normally get their glad rags on and receive their awards at a rather large and glitzy show, but there are, of course, that can't happen. But there are plans afoot to host that later in the year. And here to tell us a little bit more is Executive Director of the Berlinale, Mariette Risenbeck. So lovely to have you with us. Thank you so much for being with us today. What do you have to say to our shooting stars?
Well, first of all, it's very exciting to be part of this presentation today, and I've been following everything very closely to see how everyone performs under these, let's say, more difficult circumstances than usual. So I thought it was very enjoyable. For the Berlinale, it always has been a very important and very helpful asset to host the Shooting Stars Awards at the Berlinale. As you know, we have a quite strong presence of European cinema, and actors are the faces of cinema. They are the best way to transport cinema around the world and to make sure that the films also reach their audience. So, and that the stories the filmmakers want to tell reach their audience. So I think having you all at the Berlinale is a great pleasure. And I very much look forward to June, when I hope that most of you can travel to the festival and to be present with us and get the awards physically extended on stage. And we'll make sure to find a very interesting host and a very nice ambiance for the whole event. I think also the Berlinale is a platform where you can show your face, and I'm very pleased that Albrecht Schuch is one of the people we're going to meet in Berlin in summer. As you already told us, System Crasher was his first Berlinale competition film. Berlin Alexanderplatz was his second one, and I think coming back again to the Berlinale will be great. Do allow me to say, ik ben ook heel blij dat Martijn Lakemeier is een shooting star. I'm born in the Netherlands, and I'm very pleased that we have a Dutch shooting star as well. So welcome, and I hope I can welcome you in Berlin as well in summer. And that's all. I'm very excited. I'll see you all in June.
Thank you so much, Mariette. Thank you. It's great to have you, and great to have you congratulate our shooting stars. We're also very happy to invite two people who have already had the experience of being part of the project and are now out in the international film world. First up, I would like to welcome Mathilda de Angelis. Mathilda, thank you so much for being with us. First of all, I've got to ask, what's the most exciting memory that you have of taking part in Shooting Stars and being a shooting star?
Well, I have too many memories. I think the bond we created during that week as shooting stars was something really, really incredible and powerful. I really felt like a part of something bigger, like a big European family, and that's the power of art. Really, it removes boundaries, right? So we had so much fun. And of course, the award ceremony was pretty exciting.
So we saw you recently in The Undoing alongside Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant. Cast director Gina J, who was also a jury member on the Shooting Stars. Can you talk a little bit about the casting process? How was that for you?
My casting process was actually very, very strange and fast. Because I made a self-tape from home, and after 4 days, I don't remember, but I got the part. And after 2 weeks, I was basically in New York shooting.
Amazing. What would you say is the most important experience that you had on set for an international production? Some do's and some don'ts, maybe.
Well, of course, language skills are really, really important, not only to feel like confident and clear on the text, because you don't want anybody to dub you later, right? But also to feel confident on set and be able to really create connections, because I think language is the tool we have to create connections, and connections are the base of acting. So working with giants of acting can be intimidating, and it will be intimidating. But if you feel confident, at least with the language, it'll be easier. And the do's and don'ts, I think, are the same in every country. Be on time, polite, respectful, enjoy, have fun.
Thank you so much, Mathilda. Now, he would have loved to have been here, but he is currently filming in North Carolina. But we have he's very kindly recorded a message for us, for you, ladies and gentlemen. It is Pilou Asbaek.
Hello, Shooting Stars 2021. First of all, a huge congratulations with the award. It's a shame you guys can't meet in person, but it's nevertheless a huge opportunity to meet a lot of interesting people from all over the world, casting directors, producers, directors, etc. Hopefully the Shooting Star program will arrange meetings throughout this year so you guys can get the full benefit of what Shooting Star really is. I've been very, very thankful for what the Berlinale and the Shooting Stars gave me. I met a lot of casting directors, and some of them have actually been so wonderful in giving me jobs afterwards. A funny anecdote is that on the final night, the big party, I insisted on being a little bit arrogant. I insisted on a cigarette. I'm not saying that arrogant people smoke, but I'm saying that I deliberately came late because I would rather smoke than be on time. That resulted in me not arriving at the scheduled time, which means that when I came to the dinner, my seat was taken, and this was the round seat. It was like a round table in the middle of 120 people attending, and we were the main guest. We were the honorary guest that evening. So I came late. My seat was taken by a German director. I'll never forget it. So I had to sit next to the toilet. That was the only available seat. And I sat there. And you know what they say when you sit next to the toilet? It means you're not invited, really. But nevertheless, I sat there and I met this very nice, sweet lady. And we talked, and gradually throughout the evening, a lot of my colleagues would come down and not say, hello, Pilou, how's it going to me? But they would say, hey, how's it going to the lady next to me? As if she was extremely special. And I became a little baffled because we'd just been sitting and talking about sports and drinking and telling silly stories. And I said, excuse me, I'm a little confused. What do you do? And she said, oh, I'm a casting director from New York, and my name is Avi Kaufman. And I can tell you guys that 3 years later, Avi gave me my first professional job in an international film. I'm from Denmark, so when you make a British-speaking film or a German or a French film, we call them international films. So I don't know what the conclusion is besides be on time, or if you're not on time, just be polite and go with the flow. And I promise you, it will be an incredible adventure for all of you. And hopefully we get to act together. That would be wonderful.
What a fantastic message. And what a great story. Such a good story, Tara. Pilou, thank you so much. And Mathilda. And I can't wait to see what their next projects are as well. Dear Shooting Stars, thank you so much for being here. Huge congratulations to you all. The world is open to you. We need you, and we need your inspiration, your stories, your faces. We need cinema, and we need festivals and the exchange. And we need programs like the European Shooting Stars. Hopefully, we will see each other in Berlin in the summer. Before you leave us, I would like you to draw your attention, actually, everybody watching, to a very important topic that should and constantly needs to be discussed: diversity in casting. Shooting Stars EFP is hosting a panel this afternoon and you can find more details on the website. Thank you for joining our kickoff show, which was kindly hosted by Variety. Thank you so much, Stephen. Dear shooting stars, dear journalists, your individual interviews will take place next. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all the best of luck in the future. Take care and stay safe.